Hey everybody, today I'm going to be unboxing my latest Amazon purchase. This is the trail camera from the company Ceyomur, C-E-U-O-M-U-R. So with all my purchases, I like doing these unboxing videos in case there's somebody else out there thinking about buying the same item. I want to get an idea of what does it look like when it comes in, what's the quality like, etc. CY55 is the model of this camera. I'm going to show you a quick look at the box. And then we'll get it open. I'll try and go through some of the setup just so you can get a feel for what the setup is like. So real quickly, let's take a look at what all we get. First, there's an instruction manual. Now it's pretty thick, but you can see it's written in several different languages, so it's not near as complicated as it seems. Let's take a look at the accessories. So they give you the metal mounting bracket. Some people like using these. Basically, I mount the plate into a tree and then mount this through the plate as well as onto the back of your camera. They also give you the traditional cloth strap that you can just run through the back of the camera and put that around a tree or a post. Pretty standard. I also give you this USB cable. Now this is going to be to connect the camera to your computer so you can retrieve your images if you want, or to do firmware updates. You don't have to do that. You can simply pull the memory card and get your images that way as well. Let's take a look at the camera. This would be where you would run the cloth mounting strap, and then if you wanted to use the metal mounting bracket on the bottom here. It's got a 6-volt input if you're looking to use a solar panel, which I will be using. And then a couple of things, you've actually got your battery compartment on the bottom. Now some of these cameras have an eject button on the inside. This one does not. Pretty neat. You just have this that you undo, open it up, slide your 8 AA batteries in there, close it, and then latch the bottom of it. Pretty easy. I prefer this over the eject button that the other cameras will use. And then pretty standard. You've got your buttons on the side here. You've got a switch down here. We're going to go through all of that once I get it powered on. It does take a full-size SD card. That's why I was saying if you wanted to retrieve your images, you can simply pop out the SD card. That's usually what I do. Pop it out, put another one in, and then take the one that has the images on it back to my house and check out what I got on my trail camera. So that's a quick unboxing. Let's go through the setup and configuration. Okay, so as I mentioned, I thought it might be beneficial to go through the setup and configuration. It's really pretty simple. You've got a button down here on the bottom right side. You've got an off, test, and on. And then here you've got a mode, select, down, up, and menu button. All we're going to do is move the camera to the test setting, and then we can simply press the menu button to get into our different menu options. Now, hopefully, you're going to be able to see this, okay? Let me see if I can, there we go. Might be a little bit better. One of the things I like about this camera is that the buttons are always lit up whenever you're in your settings. So if you're out at the deer stand or you're outside and you're trying to set up your camera, it's really easy to see the buttons. The buttons also stick out, so they're easy to feel that you're on the buttons. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to simply move up and down through our different settings. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm just going to show you a few things here. So mode, for example, if we wanted to change our mode, we're going to get on that setting. We're going to press the OK button. It's this arrow button. And then we can simply choose, do we want photo, video, or photo and video every time the camera is triggered. We can adjust our resolution. This is a 20 megapixel camera. You can go as high as 20 megapixels or as low as 2 megapixels. All you're going to do is set it on whatever value you want. Press OK. Photo series would be how many photos is the camera going to take every time it gets triggered. You can set multiple if you wanted to do that. You can choose your video resolution. You can do 1080p, 720p, or 980p. We can choose our video length. They've got a couple predefined lengths in here. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20, 30, 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 5 minutes are your options. Cycle storage would be whenever your memory card gets full, does the camera start overwriting the earliest files on the camera, or does it just stop taking pictures completely? You can choose that. Your PIR interval is how often does the camera re-trigger itself after the PIR has been triggered. So in my case, I've got it set for 30 seconds. It means the camera will get triggered, and then 30 seconds later, it can be triggered again to select to catch another animal. Your PIR sensitivity is how low or high do you want it to be. You're going to adjust this depending on where you're putting it. If you're putting it in some kind of grassy field or somewhere where there's tree branches that might give you false triggers, you would want to set this lower. If you're somewhere where you don't get a lot of wind, don't have anything that's going to interfere with it, you'd want to set it higher. Target recording time would be if you only want the camera to be operational at certain times. Maybe you only want to take day pictures in videos, or maybe you only want to take night. You can set that through your target recording time. Time lapse would be if you wanted to take a picture regardless of motion, meaning every day at a certain time or every 5 minutes you wanted to take a picture. Maybe you're trying to track a construction site, or maybe a plant growing or a flower blooming, something like that. That's where you would use time lapse. You can set your language, you can set your time and date, serial number, you can choose Celsius or Fahrenheit for your temperature unit. You can turn on a beep sound. I've got mine off, but if I wanted to turn it on, as I press the buttons, I can hear a beeping noise. Audio recording would be if you're doing video files. Do you want it to record sound while it's doing those video files? You can choose whether or not you want to have the timestamp on or not. You can actually choose on this one, which I've never seen before, time, date, and logo, or you can just do time and date, just date, or you can turn off the info strip completely. I'm gonna do time, date, and logo just because I'm curious what it looks like. You can password protect your camera, and you can format your memory card. I always recommend, no matter what the camera brand is, first time you put a memory card in and use that camera, always start by formatting the memory card. And then you can simply reset your settings back to factory default. You can check your version number. Once you're ready, you've got everything set up the way you want, all you're gonna do is you're gonna move this bottom switch from test to on, and that will trigger the camera, and you're just gonna close it. Once it stops blinking, your camera's been triggered. I hope that gives you a quick walkthrough of the setup and configuration. Let's put it out and see what kind of image and video quality we get.